Hello everyone, I wanted to give an update on GoLEm slowly being renamed to 1FPGA. The project I've been working on for a little bit over a year now, and a lot has happened since the last update. First, I want to shout out, if you want to support the project, you can go to our Patreon. You get a thank you notice in every firmware that we release that you've been subscribed during the time, and you can join our forums at forums.1fpga.com. So let's get started. I just reset my Mister device, and I started the firmware. I downloaded the firmware from using the downloader, the download all script. For now, this is the best way to get it installed, and it does not affect your Mister software. There is a tutorial on the forums that I will link below. So without further ado, let's get started with the wizard to get this firmware going. So first things first, welcome to 1FPGA. Follow this wizard to get started. You can see the screen behind me, and so the first thing that you can notice is that there is a concept of users. That's one thing that's new from Mister, that's different from Mister, is that you can have multiple users. Each will have their own saves, their own save states, their own favorites. If you want to hide games, if you want to hide stuff, you can, but you won't be able to do administrator stuff. So the first user that you create on the wizard is always going to be the admin. You can rename it later, you can change its password. So for now, we're not going to set a password for it. We'll talk about it later. And and then you introduce to the concept of catalogs, which are basically the ways to add, to download cores, plugins, wallpapers, updates to the firmware, updates to cores, plugins, wallpapers, all these kind of things. So we're gonna add, well, since this is a debug build, there is a local test catalog, which is basically the 1FPGA but locally, so I don't have to push releases to the cloud. But normally you can add the 1FPGA catalog, which we recommend, and it contains all the greenlit stuff, or you can add a custom catalog. You can have multiple catalogs in series, and then like whatever, like all those wallpapers are going to be mixed together, or the cores are going to be like updates, stuff like that. So the concept would be to add catalogs for beta cores or for other things, plugins from developers. Anyway, so let's add a local test catalog, and then it's going to download, and you can choose a course to install. So basically, I'm going to install the NES one. You can see that the download size is going to be about 8.7 megabytes. And then I'm going to install Arduboy and Chess, but not Flappy Bird. I don't want to have Flappy Bird. And I'm going to download the memory test, because I just want to run that one. And to not confuse users in the future, we might remove like utilities from the 1FPGA and have a separate catalog for that, so that you see how this is going to be, to make it easier and simpler for people. So now it's going to fetch the game database of the NES. So games, there is a game database that we download to identify games from ROMs. So we have the hash and the extension and the size, and then we identify that, and then we're going to have tags so that you can look for like two-player games easily, and it's all added to the local database. So this process is being optimized because it takes kind of a long time for what it is, but in the future it's going to be faster. So, and now we're downloading the cores that we want to install. So memory test, and then NES, and we know that there's more cores from gaming, like Game Boy, Super NES. We know there's more game consoles that work. I'm just working towards like one at a time for tests. So catalog has been set up. So do you want to, if you have games on your SD card, you can add them to the database now. So I do have some games here, GoLEm_games. I'm going to select the current directory, and I'm going to add all those games. This is taking a little bit of time, but you know, it's identified the games. And so this is the start of it. This is the main menu, so if I restart, I would basically have the same menu when I restart. So I have my game library, which contains all the games I haven't identified. I have a list of the cores that I've installed. I have settings, the download center for managing catalogs, a list of controllers. Right now, controllers don't support, but this is going to be real soon. This is going to be like a start of it, where you can remap buttons and choose players for your controllers and those kind of things. And the about, which contains all the GoLEm FPGA Patreons. Let's go to settings. No, actually, let's go to game library. So you can see that we have the game library here. All the games that I had on my SD card have been identified. I have full versions of those games, except the ones that are not actual games, like the controller tests. But essentially, and I have the cores that don't require games to work, that don't require ROMs to work. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go into settings, and then I'm gonna show you a list of settings. For now, network will be able to have. Right now, I don't have a wireless network, but this is where you would like select a wireless network to add, and then like get your IP address for the 3, and then do a short speed test to test your connection to the internet from your Mister. And then the UI, so if I want to show the FPS in the toolbar, or if I want to change the font size of the menus, or if I want to change, I like having a shorter date format and an inverted one. So let's do it like that. It looks a little bit like Mister, but different. And then the date and time. So right now I'm setting manually. What I'm going to do is setting it automatically. Every time it starts, it would ping and then TP once a day, I think, or something like that. And get the time zone and the date and time and set that on your system, so your system is always at the right time. And then how often I want to check for updates on my catalogs. So manually on startup, every time I start up, daily, once a week, once a month. I'm going to keep it to manually for now. And then accounts. So this admin is not there because you cannot delete admin unless you have other users. But I can change my password, or I can reset my password. So if I change my password to so let's just like AB, and I need to verify it. So I enter the same. So my password changed. And if I exit and I restart it, sorry, I need to manually restart it for now. And if I restart it, so I need to enter my password because I only have one user. If I enter like up, invalid password. So A, invalid password, B, there you go. And now I can log out. So there's some bugs. Please, if you find any bugs, send us a bug request file. Go on the forums, create a post there. We'll take care of you. The logout should have been there after I changed my password, but you know, small notes. Okay. Next in the settings, so that was accounts, shortcuts. So you can set shortcuts for a lot of commands, and those commands, like, so right now there's one shortcut for showing the cores menu, for quitting the main menu, for launching a specific game there's not, but for the starting the last game played, there should be one. I think I should use I should use Control Tilde for launching the last played game. Right now I don't have a last played game, so it's gonna take any first game, I think, if I remember right. It's not gonna do anything actually. So show the cores menu. Right now it's F12. I want to add something that's a little bit. So what I'm gonna add is on the controller, I want Z. Oh, I don't know why it took space, but so ZL, so left trigger and then left shoulder. There you go. So now if I want to see the cores menu in there, I can use my controller instead of having to have a keyboard or having to go on the button there. Quit to the main menu. We're just gonna not care about that. Okay, so startup options. If I want to start in the game library or the last game played, or I want to start a specific game, I can do that. I like to have my start on the game library so that when I log in, like if I do log out and I log in again, I end up in my game library directly. And here I can actually like sort by name or by system or by the last played or just by favorites first and then the rest by name. But let's see if I go to details on a game. So I like to play Super Mario Bros. The first one. I want to have it on, yes, I want to have it as a favorite. And I want to add, I played this game enough that I want to have a shortcut for it. So I'm going to put like Control 1. There you go. And you know what? I like to play Mario Bros. 2, so I'm going to have Control 2 be Mario Bros. 2. And same for, oh, yeah. Forgot to talk about that. So if it finds multiple ROMs that has the same game, it will show you which ones, and you can start specific ROM for the game. So Mario Bros. 3, Control 3. There you go. And you know what? I play enough Tetris that I want to have Control 4, just to show you. And I can actually I can actually do. Oops, where is it? Mr. Chess. I want to play chess. So, Control C. There you go. Control C for chess. Okay, so the first thing is I want to start a game. I just start the game. I just select the game. And there you go. It starts playing. There's sound. There's everything in there. It's going to take the entry. There you go. But, press any button to continue. Okay. So, to show menu, I use one of the shortcuts of the menu, of course. What's interesting, though, is I set up a shortcut on my controller, so I can use left trigger this button here. And then I can just core settings, you know, the classic, everything that you can have, autosave, audio video, so if I want to change the palette, or if I want to have a smooth. Anyway. But really, like, I don't want to play this game. I want to play Mario 1. So Control 1 was Mario 1, right? And there you go. So now the same thing happens. Shortcuts just work. But I want to play chess, really. So I want to start this game. But you know what? I like to play black. So, oops. I like to play, anyway. Oh, and I probably want to reset the core first. So, oh, there you go. He played already. Up. This is ridiculously bad because this is the lowest level of. It's the lowest level of chess intelligence. Anyway. Go. And then, I'm sorry, I get easily distracted when I start playing chess, but yeah. Okay, yeah, but I want to go back to the main menu. And this is essentially what GoLEm is all about right now. It's about playing games first. You can still start your cores manually. You have a list of cores, or if you have a file on the file system, you can actually just start the file. So I can still go to, you know, utility and start the GTS DRAM, and the test for the SDRAM. You can see that my SDRAM runs fine. Load file should not probably be back there, but yeah. And then quit to go back to the main menu. This is essentially what 1FPGA is going to be. So a few things right now. Before I release this is an update, but before I actually release this, what I'm going to do is integrate the release process inside, like upgrading the firmware and the catalog from inside the UI so that you can actually check for updates and then update without having to go back to the download script, the download all script, which is the current way of doing things. But if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have anything to say, please file a comment below. Go to our forums. It's a discourse. We should have a Discord server at some point real soon when I have the time to set that up. But now that this is going to be released, I will have a time as soon as I release. This is going to be considered the beta. Before that was the alpha, just to test the market. It was positive reviews. Thank you everyone who said something. But I'm really excited about where this is going, and I really want to put the player and the games first, because when you get a Mister as a customer, normally what you want is not mess up with cores, not mess up with settings. You just want to get started playing. And this is my vision of how we can accomplish a device like that. Thank you, everybody. And again, please comment or join our forums. Have a good day. Bye.